Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakab, Dash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all his sincere kin. And this is, well, just another video going into the same thing that we always speak about, which is the truth. Alright, and in this case, the truth that I am giving to you is the gods of the nations are idols. Right, let's get that. Let's get that. Hold on, I should use lowercase g. So, yeah. Because there is only one power that needs higher case, and that is the most high. Jehovah Shabbat, Psalm 96, verse 5. For the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. And that is the point right there. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that to you heathen, to you two-thirds, and so on that worship all these other gods except for the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai, really idols except for the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai, even you that claim to be in Wakitaki plantation Christianity, the Christian worship is still just idol worship. Is it not written? Let's get that precept as well. So this is the book of First Corinthians 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Right? And this is basically just, idol worship, right? But let's get into the article. And the headline is "Man raises arm for 38 years." And I saw this actually picture. And I saw them people going into it and covering it. About this dude in India. This guy in India has raised up his arm for over 38 years. And basically, if you let's just read the article and you'll see for yourself. And it means if you are ever looking for a volunteer to put their hand up for something, head to New Delhi and ask Mahant Amar Bhattiji. In 1973, the clerk raised his hand in honor of Hindu deity Shiva and hasn't put it down since. In 1970, Amar left his job, family, and friends to dedicate himself to his religious beliefs. And basically going into once again the gods of the nations, all these idols that you have built unto yourself, as long as it is not the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it is basically nothing. All right. 3 years later, feeling he was still too connected to his old life, Amar simply raised his hand as a sign of his devotion. It's now been 38 years and the arm has not yet come down. Amar's followers claim his sacrifice is a beacon of peace, while others say he has given up the use of a limb in order to separate himself from the pleasures of mortal life. And you see, all these heathen gods, they always have all these heathen, and they always be doing too, they always are doing extra. Whether it's basically pulling out your hair, bleeding yourself out, doing all kinds of penitence and self-adulation just to show your devotion to your this idol, man. And at the end of the day, it is all vain. It's all worth nothing. And that leads me to my next precept, which is in the book of Psalm, the second chapter. So this is the book of Psalm 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And of course, we already know what that is, the actual context and what that is going into. But it can also be applied here because the vain thing that you have your imagination on is these idol gods that you serve. And let's go into another precept just to show you that, all these gods that you are following, you are worshiping, they are worshiping, and you are doing all these sacrifices to raising up your hand over 35 years, basically losing complete feeling to the hand because the other hand like that as it's up in the air it's gone, right? Because it's no longer being used, the hand basically atrophied, all the nerves that connect to that hand were cut off and the hand is just stuck there now. That's why you see the hand looking the way it does, because the hand is completely gone. The only thing they can do to it now is just to cut it off. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. See now that even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And the main point being the first part, there is no God with the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So no Shiva, no Vishnu, no Kali, no, There are so many other, 150 or so other Indian gods that has been worshipped, right? Or any of the other idol gods as well. It is only the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, right? Those are the only gods. Those are the only gods that truly exist, while the rest are just idols, the work of men's hands, right? So let's go to that. Let's see if we can get that preset. Let's see. You know what? Let me just go to the one that I know. Okay, and that should be Wisdom of Solomon 17 or 18. I think it's okay 15. Let me just go to the one that I already know, right? 13, 14, 15. I've forgotten the exact precept where it is in. Ah, yes, here it is. So let me start from here. Okay, yeah, here it is. All right, so let me just then continue reading this article and then we'll get some precepts. Okay, so yeah. So continuing on from where we stopped, Amar's sacrifice has turned his arm into a useless stump of flesh and bone, with a gnarled hand and unclipped fingernails hanging from the end. Amar says he experienced years of excruciating pain in order to follow his beliefs, but the pain has now passed, right? Because you keep your hand up there for long, all the blood starts to come down from your hands, the blood vessels start to what another thing the capillaries, yeah, the capillaries start to squeeze in and that causes a lot of pain, kind of like the pain that you get when you are feeling cold, that frostbite is a frostbite type of situation. And eventually, the nerves get completely cut off. But yeah, let's continue reading. What's left of his arm is now stuck in a bizarre position, atrophied after years of non-use. Devotees to Hinduism will often undergo incredible acts of self-sacrifice, sometimes involving starvations or vows of silence. Many of Amar's followers have followed suit, raising their own arms for years and even decades. And you see, this is the level that the heathen go to for their idols, alright? You can't even really call them gods because what they are idols and they don't even, and these idols aren't even actually real. And let's read this, okay? Because all you heathens, all you soothsayers that are in the world that are following these idols and worshiping them, and you are doing all of this, you are doing and you are sacrificing so much unto them, only or truthfully speaking, all you are doing is just sacrificing to, you know, I don't even want to say devils because really the sacrifices they are making are in vain. That's all that can really be said. Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. And it's not just the sacrifice that they make, but their lives as a whole is in vain as well. Because it doesn't matter how much wealth you accrue, how much of a name you have, how respected that you are. At the end of the day, a life that you live that isn't serving the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is an empty life, man. But continuing on, Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High, Yahweh Basham Yahushai, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be gods which govern the world, with whose beauty, if they being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is, for the first author of beauty hath created them. And it's the same thing that you see in the book of Romans, the first chapter. They turned they served and worshipped the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. And that's the same thing that you see with all these idol worshippers, all these heathen enthusiasts that are all involved in this idol worship. They serve a creature, they serve the creation of the Most High, Jehovah Bashai Yahshai. That's why you see something like sun worship, right? Every idol religion always has a sun god or a moon god or something like that. And really, what that is going into is once again sun worship, worshiping the celestial bodies, okay, which is what a lot of these idol religions do, and giving it these human or at least somewhat human appearance or animal appearance, worshiping. That's why you see here in India, right? Still here, unfortunately. That's why you see that these Hindus, these Indians, they're always reverencing cows and elephants and different animals like that. So a lot of these Indians, they even go into they're vegetarians basically because they don't want to eat any of these animals because they believe that human beings can reincarnate as animals, and that's the type of reincarnation that you have in the world right now. That's why when you talk about reincarnation, that's the type of reincarnation that comes to their mind. The reincarnation as these Elamites believe it to be, but they went off concerning what reincarnation is, but that's beside the point. Let's continue with the precepts. Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 3. With I already read that. Wisdom of Solomon 13, verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. Right? So you are following and worshiping all these, animals, all these things, all these animals and things, but you don't worship the true creator of them. All right. And even if that were the case, the heathen, this doesn't really apply to the heathen because at the end of the day, well, on this side at least, these heathen won't even be able to worship the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Is it not written that he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments unto Israel, and he hath not done so with any other nation? And really, this video is for any Israelite that might be scattered among the heathen out here and see this video, and so that they would see what the scriptures say about, you know, all these idols that you have heaped onto yourself. Okay, and the true power that exists, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because how do you know who the one true power is, the one true God? A lot of people often ask that question. How do you know who the one true God is? Well, it's quite simple. The scriptures clearly tell you who the one true God is, and the scriptures in this book is the truth, all right? And the truth is clear concerning who the Heavenly Father is, who the Most High, the one true power is. Is it not written? You just read it in Deuteronomy 32, 39. That see now that He, even He is Him, right? The Most High is Him, and there is no other power with Him up there, no other God with Him up there. And all the gods that you have used and you worship, they are all idols. But the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh is the one, the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh is the one true power. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Basham Yahweh Basham Rakah Kwadash. Wa Abad Babal, and to the Spirit of you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.